People acting.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Amy Gedden and I make Sims videos here on YouTube. Today's video is super exciting and I've been looking forward to posting it for a long while because it's actually the second ever collab that I have done. So some of you may have seen back in December I did a collab with the fabulous JustAnotherSimmer where she built the exterior of a big kind of lodge style house and then I decorated the interior of it. That was the first time I had ever done a collab and I really enjoyed doing it. So this is my second collab. It's also with JustAnotherSimmer, but it is a really big one. There's actually 5 of us involved. So as well as JustAnotherSimmer, there's also SimsBrit, EmmaSims or Rosebud Now, and Juicy or Juicy for Manx. So the 5 of us came together on Twitter, we were discussing ideas and decided that what we wanted to do was to build a shopping street or shopping square. So we decided to go for this square with kind of 3 shops on one side, 2 on the other, and all of us then did a different store. We decided what stores we were going to do and everyone kind of built their bit and then uploaded it. The next person downloaded their part, built their shop, uploaded it. So it was really cool to kind of work collaboratively like that and all of us be contributing little bits at a time, seeing how it would grow. And yeah, it was just really cool. I really enjoyed it. So the shop that I decided to build was a bookstore, and I decided that I wanted to go for a kind of like dark academia themed bookstore. I just really love that style. I love like if I'm on holiday finding little old like small bookstores, even if they're not old, they feel old and like really cluttered, loads of books, dark. I just love that kind of vibe in a bookstore, so I wanted to see if I would be able to recreate that in The Sims. The other shops that people built, JustAnotherSimmer built a pet store, Brit built a florist, EmmaSims built a car showroom, and Josie for Manx built an electronics store. So it's a real mix of different types of shops, but they all worked really well together, and we kind of all decided on a style that we were going for. Kind of loosely decided on that style at least for the exteriors, so that they would all look cohesive, so that even though the interiors of all the stores are quite different, from the outside they all look very similar. Part of what helped that is that we all kind of decided together which packs we would use. We looked at what packs people had because I don't think any of us own the complete collection. I could be wrong. At least the majority of us don't own the complete collection. So it means it was a limited pack build. So the packs that we used were Seasons, Get to Work, Cats and Dogs, Discover University and Vampires. They're the ones that I used anyway. Some people may have used a couple of other ones, but I think the majority of us tried to stick to those packs at least. And I decided to use a lot of the Discover University things, so I used all like Discover University windows and the wall trim as well, and I used it in that kind of teal bluish colour that you can see. I just think it is such a nice colour and it really worked with the vibe that I wanted to go for. And another thing that really helped me to kind of get that dark academia theme I was going for was the roof. I decided that I wanted to do this gothic style roof with the kind of, I don't know what it's called, the bowed roof almost, where it's kind of bendy. I don't know what that's called. If anyone knows in the comments, let me know. But it's similar to the way the roof is done in the goth mansion, with the little small room up top that the roofs all go around and then the fence on top. I thought that would be really cool. So that's what I went for my roof, and I do think it really gave that dark, creepy vibe that I was going for. Another thing that I did in this build was to use platforms. I've played around with platforms a little bit, but I always find them very difficult to use. I don't know, I guess I need to have a bit more practice with it or something, but I always find it very difficult to use platforms. But I think it worked out okay, so I just put a couple of platforms just at the door because I wanted to have these kind of rounded stairs at the front door. You'll also notice I used a lot of debug in this, especially for the exterior of it. I used all of the Discovery University vines. They're really, really cool and really gave the look that I was going for because I wanted it to be all covered in ivy and vines and stuff. And I also then found the big kind of book statue from Discovery University that is in, I believe it's the kind of statue in the centre of the University of Brightchester. I actually found that book statue, sized it down and have it in a little flower bed out the front of the store as decoration, and I think it worked really well. It looks really, really cool, and I was super happy when I found that. And again, for the interior, I was sticking with this blue colour that I had on the exterior for the doors and windows. Upstairs, I decided that I wanted to have a small bathroom for the customers, so I literally do, I think, a 3-tile bathroom, and also then I wanted to have a ladder that staff members could use to go up to the attic, and you'll see later I put loads of storage and stuff in there. One thing that you'll probably notice is I do a lot of kind of back and forth in this. So I had chosen these bookshelves, spent ages laying them out the way that I wanted, and then later on I go back, completely change the bookshelves and have to replace them all. And similarly downstairs I had a back door originally, I then later on delete that, replace it with more bookshelves, and just kind of change the layout a few times. The reason for that is that I did kind of struggle with this build. I think it ended up taking me maybe, I don't know, maybe about 4 hours in total, which is way longer than it would normally take me for something like this. But I think the reasoning behind that is just that I had a very, very strong vision in my mind of what I wanted this build to be, what I wanted it to look like, and I was just really struggling to get that. I don't know, I just couldn't get it to look the way I wanted it to in my head, so that's why I kind of was going back and forth so much, trying different things to make it look the way I envisioned it in my head. One frustrating thing is that at the end of the build, when I was going back and doing finishing touches, my OBS actually crashed and I didn't realise, so I don't have the very end of the build recorded, which means there's this little kind of alcove downstairs in the centre of some of the bookshelves. I ended up putting like loads of like piles of books and things with a little bollard across the front so that it looked like there was staff members maybe putting out new stock, rearranging that area, just to make it look a bit more real and lived in. And that's one of my favourite bits of the entire build. That actually didn't record, unfortunately, so you'll not be able to see me working on it, but in the screenshots at the end of the video, you'll see that and see what I mean by what I was working on with it. But yeah, it was so frustrating because the OBS screen recorder crashed, but what can you do? Hopefully you'll still be able to see what I was working on and appreciate it and stuff. One issue that I did have while building this is because it was a limited pack one. I've spoken in previous videos that I, a lot of the time, don't build with just in-game stuff. I tend to use a lot of custom content for my builds and my create a sim. But since kind of starting YouTube videos, I've decided to do the majority of my videos without custom content just so that people can download them. But it means because I normally in my own gameplay would use so much custom content, I'm not super familiar with all the items in game. And even more so, because I'm already working with, I guess, a limited amount of items compared to the normal custom content I use, when I then was doing a limited pack build, there would be things where I'd be like, oh, well, there's this in-game item that I can use here, went to look for it, and then realised that that item was actually from a pack that we weren't using. So it was really challenging but really fun doing this limited pack build because it gave me the opportunity to learn more about what items were actually in what packs, which is always good to know. You'll see shortly that I'm going to be doing some kind of landscaping on the exterior. I just did a little small floor bed in front of the window because I wanted it to look like it was busy but not too busy. I kind of wanted it to look like it was just very unkept, like it's pretty and with a bit of work could be like a really gorgeous, perfectly manicured flower bed, but I feel like the people who work here are just like, oh, it doesn't really matter, so it's gone a bit wild, similar to like all the vines and ivy around it. Another thing that I noticed when I was building mine is that because obviously each of the 5 collaborators were building one of the buildings, they were all on kind of different levels of foundations. At least the 2 beside me, one had a foundation and one didn't. So it meant that I couldn't have my shop attached to both of them. So what I decided to do was just attach it on one side, and the other side I then made this little alleyway down the side of it, between the 2 buildings to look kind of like a service alley almost. I used actually one of the fences and gates from Get to Work because I thought just kind of the vibes of that pack worked really well with that service lane type thing that I was going for. And you'll see later on then there's a small backyard in there. I put like a bike for someone who maybe works here who cycled in, and then also just some bins and kind of empty crates and things. I also used so much debug inside in getting all of these books on stands and things, because obviously it was a bookstore. I wanted to have books displayed as well as just having loads of bookcases lining the place. So I put these shelves on the wall, put loads of books on them, and then put kind of some plants around the place. I have some candles on one of the shelves beside the books, which is a massive fire hazard, but I just loved how it looked. I thought it looked really vibey, so I was like, do you know what? I'll just put candles, it's fine. Upstairs, I also wanted it to just feel really, really cramped. Initially, I had been going to have the bathroom be a bit bigger, potentially put a couple of stalls in it, but I decided it's like an old sort of building. I wanted it to have just the old bathroom, or look like it had just had a bathroom squished in last minute, where they kind of almost forgot, oh, we need a bathroom for our customers. So that's why I just did this teeny little skinny bathroom, and then it still has bookshelves all around it. I also then, at one point later, you'll see I go and put in loads of these really comfy looking squishy chairs just to sit and read. And I also then put in a fireplace upstairs, and it means there's this really cute, cozy like reading corner, and I think it looks so, so nice, and it's the sort of place I would love to hang out in. You'll just see that it's really cozy looking. After doing this build, I actually have been taking almost a little break from Sims. I'm still playing it, but I haven't actually been doing any builds. I think almost because this one took me so long, and it was kind of like a real labor of love. I was like struggling so much to make it fit what I wanted. So I was getting really frustrated with myself, like, oh, why is it not looking right? And in the end, like I said, I'm super pleased with how it turned out, and I do manage to get the vibe that I was going for. But for a long while I was just really frustrated with it. So I've kind of just been taking a bit of a break, just been wanting to be a bit more chilled. So I've actually been playing other games. One of them is not very chill. I've been playing a load of Ark Survival Evolved, which, if you haven't played it, it's a game where you're like dropped in this island where there's loads of dinosaurs who try and kill you, and you have to then forage and survive and stuff. So it's not very calming and chill, but it's really fun because I love that kind of survival game. But I am a complete noob at it. I'm just kind of exploring around, figuring things out myself, but I'm not very good at it, so if any of you have played it and have advice for me, please let me know, because I could use as much advice as I can get so that I stop dying all the time. But another game which I've been playing, which is super chill, is Stardew Valley. I had always wanted to play Stardew Valley, but had never actually gotten around to it, and then it was just last week I decided, it was on sale on Steam. I was like, I've been wanting to buy it anyway, I'm just gonna buy it and play it. And oh my gosh, it is so cute and so much fun. I'm so glad that I've finally bought it, and I just regret that I didn't buy it sooner. Because it's just so adorable and so cute. My character has like bright pinky purple hair and a little grey cat called Olive at my farm, and it's the pumpkin patch farm because I am super basic and love anything pumpkin and pumpkin spice. So it's just so, so cute and I'm loving it. If that's the sort of thing that you would like to see on this channel at some point, let me know, because I have been wondering, should I do videos on other games as well. It does mean I would need to change my intro, because my intro I go, I play Sims videos, and I'm like, well, for now I do, but I might branch out. But please let me know if something like Stardew Valley or really any other game would be something you'd be interested in seeing. I've also been thinking of maybe playing, oh, I'm trying to remember what its name is, Lemon Cake, I think? I saw Claire Siobhan, who's one of my favourite YouTubers, posted a couple of videos of it. I haven't watched them yet because I'm wanting to play it myself and kind of experience it all firsthand. But from what I've seen, it looks really, really adorable. You run like a little bakery, and I'm pretty sure it can be a cat cafe, which is honestly just complete goals for me because I work as a barista at the minute. I love working in cafes and coffee shops, and I love to bake, and I love cats. So like, a game that lets me run a cat cafe just seems like the most incredible thing. So if you would be interested in that, please let me know. We're coming towards the end of this build. You'll notice I was just kind of doing some finishing touches. So up in the attic, I put a little sofa, had a load of just books and bookshelves all kind of crammed in there, sort of looking like loads of stock that they just haven't organised yet. And I also decided to put some cracks and water stains and things in the attic to kind of be like, they're looking after the main part of the store, but not really caring about the attic because the customers won't see that anyway. So that's the end of the build. We're just going to be coming on to some screenshots now. I really, really hope you enjoyed the video. I really enjoyed making it. It was such a labour of love, and I'm really pleased with how it turned out. Mega thank you to all of the other amazing creators who I collaborated with. I couldn't have done this video without them, and it was just so much fun to work together and do it. I'm going to have all of their social media handles and YouTube links down in the description below so that you can check all of them out. And this entire build is now available for download on my gallery. So thank you so much for watching. Like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you want to see more from me, and hit the notification bell so that you never miss another video. And I will see you all in the next one. Stay magical. Bye!
People acting. People acting.